Hi everybody, I'm back. And I'm back. I'm actually probably going to do 2 readings tonight, back to back, and they'll go up back to back. So one of the readings that I'm going to do is I'm going to be looking into Australia because Carrie requested that I do that, so I'm going to do that. I hope I got her name right. I had said Linda had asked me to look into Scotland in the last reading, so not the right name. Lillian had asked me to look into Scotland, so I did that. And I'm going to be looking into Australia for Carrie. But I'm also going to be doing a reading tonight on the message that I've been getting via animal spirits and totems. So I'm going to be looking into the message of the moth. And I'll just tell you how that came about. So several nights ago, I've told you all I can't sleep. In fact, it's very late right now. It's very late. So I just haven't been able to sleep lately. So I was up, sitting in the dark, doing my spiritual work when something told me to look out the window. So I had to turn my head and look that way to see what was out the window. And there was a beautiful lunar moth, and it was just flying all over the place. And I was like, oh, I know the message of the moth, right? It's the night, it's intuition, it's feminine energy, it resonates with the moon. But there's more to it than that, and it depends on the color of the moth and the type of the moth. And so with the lunar moth, that brings with it some mothering energy, mothers, and the work that I had been doing and the spiritual work that I had been doing and sending healing out to the world. It just felt like my mom was saying, hey, which was nice. That was really nice, right? My parents they're the reason I believe I've been aware my entire life, because they were aware. So they were very aware. And my mother was very spiritual. She read cards, and she was very psychic, and so my spirituality and my awareness, I can thank my parents for their influence in my life. So then, let's see, not last night, the night before that, I was up doing spiritual work because I haven't been sleeping. And so I was up doing my spiritual work and I walked over to the window and a huge moth flew onto the window. And I took some pictures of it. It wasn't a lunar moth, but it was every bit as big. And I thought, okay, this means something. This means something. I could feel it. I could feel that I had a message there. And at the time that this happened, once again, I was doing work regarding the world and my healing work that I do regarding the world, the healing that I send out. So I didn't look into it that night. I was like, there's got to be a meaning to this. But I didn't look into it. Last night, I was listening to somebody whose name I can't mention, but it starts with a P and it ends with an L. And he was given some information about someone whose name starts with a P and ends with an A. Okay? Real creep. And it was very hard to listen to, but afterwards I was focusing on a lot of healing going out into the world and holding space for little people. I was holding space for little people and sending healing. out to all of them, and I was sending healing into the earth. And when I was done, I felt, I just was like, I need to go check and see. I need to look this up and look into this moth symbolism, because I really felt like there was an extra message in that for me. So I did that. I went and I looked. And the very first thing that came up, which is what will always happen for me. It will be the first thing that comes up on my newsfeed when I'm researching something that holds significance, right? I don't have to search to find the message. Like, it's the first thing that comes up. So the very first thing that came up was, the moth talking about, the moth symbolism from this particular site was talking about the moth letting you know that the transformation, because moths and butterflies and dragonflies all represent transformation, right? But the transformation with these large moths is reason to celebrate, because freedom and liberation is right around the corner. Okay. So I felt that. I felt the flutter all the way up through my body. So tonight, I was talking to my significant other about it, and I said, I'm going to do a reading on that. I'm going to do a reading on the message that I got, the Moth Totem and the freedom and the liberation. Because I didn't feel like that was just for me personally, because I have been doing so much work. When I'm getting these messages, I'm not just working on myself. When I'm getting these messages from the moth, I'm actually working on exactly that, the healing for the earth and all of us, right? The freedom and liberation and healing for all of us on the planet and everything on the planet. So it seems to me that the message coming in at that time would be also for all of us, not just me, but for all of us. So I'm talking to my significant other about that tonight. And I said, I'm going to do a reading on it. It's kind of exciting to me, and I'm going to do a reading on it. And he said, all right, and he's gone off. He's gone to bed because he's not having a trouble sleeping. But I was walking down thinking how excited I am about that message from the moth. And I was giving thanks and gratitude and letting my guides know that I'm going to do a reading on it. And guess what flew right up to the window as I walked to the door? Another giant moth. So I'm pretty excited. I'm going to do a reading on this. Doing a reading on the moth totem energy, the message that I am gleaning from this experience on freedom and liberation. And the question, I guess, I need to word this a particular way. So we have to be specific with the cards, right? So I guess the question is going to be, because it says in the Moth Totem message that freedom and liberation is right around the corner. So in spirit world and animal spirit world, what does right around the corner mean? Like, what does that mean? So I'm going to ask if we will be seeing all of us, the world over, because as I said, I feel like this is for all of us, if we are all going to be seeing the world over a series of events that show us liberation and freedom. The month right now is July. We have So August, September, October, November, December, January. We have 6 months, not quite a full 6 months, before we hit the new year. So let's ask if we are going to experience liberation and freedom the world over, very openly, so that we can see that very clearly in the next 6 months. Let's see. Because the year 2022 breaks down in numerology to a universal 6 year, which is birthing new things. So we have 6 months to maybe birth some very clear freedom and liberation. And do that in this year. Because then when we go into 2023, that's going to be a universal 7 year. And I think where that's so highly spiritual, that's the seeker, that's information, that's all about the crown chakra and receiving information. I think the year 2023 is going to be a whole lot of information coming in. So this year we're going to birth something, and then next year I think we're going to learn so much more than we already have learned. So much. There's going to be a lot to learn, I think. So let's see. Will we see all of us the world over? Will we see very clear signs between now, the month that we all call July, in the year that we all call 2022, between now and January of 2023, will we see very clear signs that we've been liberated and that we're free? Okay, so let's see what we got. And if we do, that would go right in with, I think that would mesh pretty well also with some of the other information that the person who I was listening to, who starts with a P and ends with an L, was referring to as well last night on his live. So let's see. Let's see. What do we get? Oh boy, guys. Oh, this is telling quite a story. I think we're already liberated, but we're not looking in the right places. Okay? So basically these cards are saying we're already liberated, but we're not looking in the right places because, well, let me just read this to you. All right. So I said between now and January, will we see very clear signs that we've been liberated? So the card representing the question, I'm sorry, it's very late. So again, glare and lights and stuff. I'm sorry. Shadows, you name it. But so the card that we got was a 5. So 5 is chaos. And this is our wands. So this is the journey, right? So you can see we're so caught up in the, oh, there we go. Can you guys see this? I'm trying to get it so that, can you guys see that? Can you see that? All right, so we're so caught up in the chaos that we're not seeing the wand back here that's bloomed. Do you see that? We're not looking at this. We're not paying attention. We're too caught up in the chaos. So I think this is validating us that we've already been liberated. We just don't know it. We're in the middle of chaos, so we're not seeing that, okay? We're not seeing that. We're too caught up in the narratives and the illusions that we're seeing everywhere. We're awfully caught up in that, so we're not seeing the truth. We're not seeing that journey that's bloomed back there, okay? So I believe we're already liberated. We've been liberated. We're just kind of going through the motions before we actually maybe turn around and see this, or somebody yells at us and says, hey, turn around and look. You know, it might take that. Who knows? Because we want to see solid proof, right? We're like that. We human beings are like that. So I believe we're already liberated. Above that card, we got the secrets. We got the secrets card. All right. We did. So we've been liberated. And it's all about this. It's all about liberating those little people. And so we're having to deal with chaos. We're having to deal with chaos. But there is a bloomed wand. And this journey has been all about this. I gotta be careful with my words. Sorry, you guys. I know it's not like it's not like the channel is huge or anything, but it's algorithms. The bots pick out the words, so it's just algorithms on anyone that throws anything up. You could get caught in an algorithm and get in trouble for that. So I've got to be careful. But across from the chaos, right? Across from the chaos, we have more wands. Trying to get it so you guys can see it. We have more wands. We have a leader. We have somebody leading with integrity, who's noble and has good intentions. Like, if you look, I wish my lights weren't doing this, but if you look, can you see that wand that he's holding in bloom? Can you see that? How's that? Can you see that he's holding a wand in bloom? And then the people have come. They sort of, if you look at the hands, they look kind of white, almost like zombies, you know, like kind of white, and their sticks aren't very much alive. But there is this person back here, and they've all come to him, right? And he's standing there listening, taking it in, wanting to help. The reason why I can say that he's wanting to help is because above him, this is a bloomed journey. You see that? So this is a completely bloomed journey. Again, this is the on point, on path card, right? So she's walking her path at night alone in the dark. It might be a little scary, but that path is completely bloomed. There is life in that path. So on point, on path. And this guy is helping us get there on point, on path. I believe that this is representing the alliance. That's what I believe. Right across from the question, you know, like, are we liberated? Why, yes, but we're not looking because we're focusing on the chaos. But there's been a lot of helping us people to get on to this path of liberation and freedom. Right? Okay? So what is driving this reading? So the whole reading is being driven. Can you see this? This is Pentacles. This is earthly pleasures. This whole reading is being driven by eyes on the money. Okay? So we've been liberated. We've been liberated. We don't know it yet. There's a lot of wands in this card read, our journey. We don't know it yet. We're sitting there looking down, all sad at what we feel like we've lost, what's behind us. Once again, we're not looking at what's bloomed right beside us. So this is twice that we're not looking. So we're caught up in the chaos. We're not looking at the journey that's bloomed behind us. We're depressed. We're sad. You know, some people feel probably like all is lost. It's certainly been a shit show to watch all of this stuff, right? So looking down, sad, depressed, thinking about all that's lost, all of these dead sticks. But if he'd just lift his head and look, the bloom is right there. So this is twice we're being told we're not looking. We're focusing on other things. So we're focusing on things like Nasara Gasara. You see this? Sneaking around, peeking, wondering about the money, right? Wondering about money. Of course, we're seeing hyperinflation, and people have lost their jobs, and there's all of this stuff. We've lost focus. We've lost focus, you guys, about what this journey really is all about. We need to step away from the chaos, stop thinking about the things that we've lost. We already know it's just mostly an illusion. Like, we're going to find out that a lot of the things that we think we've seen or heard or know or whatever, it's false narratives. We already know that, right? So we've lost focus about what the journey is about. So the journey really is about this, which is a very young energy, lots of emotions, young, small energies, lots of emotions. This is really what the journey is about, okay? So we need to get back to that. We need to focus on that only. We do. We need to focus on that. And we need to know that this is what this is all about, okay? And look for look for the bloom. Stop focusing on the chaos. Look behind us. Stop focusing on the sadness. Look right beside us. There's things in bloom. So we already have evidence. They're saying we already have evidence. We're just not looking, okay? Because we're really caught up in the information that is, it's so disappointing. We hear all of this, you know, they're giving the injections to little people that can't even walk yet. You know what I'm saying? And we're hearing all of these other narratives, and we're so disappointed, and we're sad, and we're not paying attention. And then when we do pay attention, because of all the hyperinflation and stuff, we're asking things like, you know, when's the financial system going to come into play? We've lost focus, you guys. So we have to refocus, all right? We've lost focus. This journey is about this. This journey is about this and liberating them. And also all of the, within all of us, we have a sad, broken, traumatized inner child. I'll say that once. Probably that's it. Just that word probably once isn't gonna trigger anything. But we need to heal that. We need to heal that inside of us, because when we heal our own wounded little person, that actually helps heal outwardly to other people, right? And helps heal their wounded little person. So while we're doing that, doing our own shadow work and healing our own trauma, send healing, send love, send high vibrations out, hold space for all of the other little people. And remember, this entire journey is about them. It's about them. There is evidence of liberation. There is evidence of liberation. Start looking for it. Stop focusing on just this stuff. This isn't the stuff that's going to let us know. I mean, what I'm gathering by this reading is that if we're looking to this to let us know that the liberation has happened, we're going to stay disappointed because this is going to come later. So we've got to get our mind out of that, okay? All right? And we need to really look for the signs. Look for the signs. Because we're being liberated already. And stop letting our head break our heart. Like, don't listen to the narratives always. Remember that there's a little bit of truth in every lie, and there's a lot of lies and a little bit of truth. And everything's really hard to believe right now. Very hard to, like, it's always been hard to believe. But like now it's just like obviously hard to believe, right? Because of the shenanigans that have been going on the last couple of years, few years. So yeah, we've got to get out of our headspace because it's damaging to our heart. All of this disappointment, we've got to get out of this headspace, okay? We've got to stop focusing on these narratives that probably aren't true anyways, and we've got to go get into our heart space, and we've got to hold space for these little people and for our own inner little person, okay? Got to stop being so disappointed in everything. Really got to start projecting good things. Because the truth is, we have people on our side working for our betterment, and we're on point. We are on point. We're on path. We're on path. So we've already been liberated. We just don't know it yet. We just don't know it yet. Isn't that the way it seems like everything is going right now? Like, everything seems to be like we don't know. Things have happened, and we just aren't seeing it yet. It's like we're, it's like part of, it's like we've been paused. So by the time the pause button gets hit again and it goes back into play, it takes all of us a while to catch up to what has actually happened. It's like that. So, I would say by that reading that we've already been liberated, but we're focusing on the wrong things, you guys. We've lost focus about what this is all about. So yeah, liberation has happened. We just got to look for it. The signs are out there. It's saying we got to quit looking at the chaos. We got to quit looking at the things that make us sad. We got to quit having our head in a space that's damaging to our heart, focusing us on disappointment, because we're on point, we're on path. Liberation is there. We got to look for the signs. So, is it going to be obvious? Because the cards are so literal, I'm just going to ask this. Is it going to be absolutely obvious by the time we come into the year that we're calling 2023 that liberation happened? Like, is everybody going to know it, see it? Is it going to be right there, plain to see? So that's what I'm going to ask now. Because our cards are being very literal, saying you've already been liberated. You're just focusing on the wrong stuff. And you got to remember what the focus is about, which is, yeah. So, yeah, that's what it's about. So we got to remember that. So let's take a peek, right? Real quick. Let's pull 3 cards by the year 2023. Is it going to be so blatantly obvious that, you know, you can't help but see that liberation has happened? The Wheel of Fortune, yes, by the time 2023 comes back around, things are going to, by the time 2023 comes around, comes in, things are going to have come back around, okay? The military is going to kind of step up. We've got the Knight of Swords, so, yeah, this is a noble journey. The Knight of Swords, very noble. It's a worthy fight, okay? I probably shouldn't have said that word either. I'll be all right, though. I'll be all right. If I say something once, it shouldn't bother. So, yeah, things are going to come back around. it's noble. We're probably going to see some of this action. Lots of tools, lots of things to rebuild. Going to be rebuilding structures, rebuilding. We're going to be rebuilding. I'm going to pull another one. We're going to be rebuilding by 2023. Things will come back around. We're going to see some action for sure. Some noble action, right? Going to be rebuilding things, building things. See all these tools? See all these tools? We'll be utilizing those tools, skills, knowledge, tools to start a brand new journey. And do you see what we got? We got a brand new journey, the Wands card, which is nurturing. So we're going to see some stuff blatantly by 2023. Yes. All right, you guys. So there's some moth medicine for us all. And Spirit says, focus on the positives. And Moth says, celebrate. Celebrate. We're going through a huge transformation and liberation and freedom. The Moth says is right around the corner, which is probably referring to what we will see coming in coming for a brand new start here. And Spirit says, you're already liberated. Look in the right places. See the positive stuff. Okay, you guys, I hope that you found value in this. It is so hot here right now. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do that other reading on Australia. I'm up anyway. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to say see you to all of you on this reading. And I'm just going to go right into that second reading on Australia for Carrie. But I really wanted to share the Moth message that I received. And please do, if any of you are receiving validation messages via spirit, via the animal spirits, animal totems, numbers, deja vus, anything, like, tell me the good stuff. I want to hear the good stuff. I want to hear the validation and the synchronicities and the positive messages that you're getting in and what you're seeing through your own intuition and your own tapping in and what the universe is giving you personally for messages. I want to hear that stuff. Okay? We need to share these things. This is the stuff that lifts us up. This lifts vibration. This expedites healing, and it expediates, I'm losing my words, but it expediates us co-creating, manifesting. It expediates that when we share these high vibrations, okay? All right, so I hope that you found value in this. Much, much love from me to you. Many, many blessings from me to you. Remember to laugh. Remember to feel joy. Remember to pull in those positive, higher vibrations. Those are the things that make life worth living. And we've got to have those high vibrations in our lives so that our lives are worth living. But I'll tell you, those high vibrations go out. They go outward. So they go outward to everyone that's around you, and they pick that up, and then it goes outward to everyone there around, and so on and so on and so on. And so it's very healing for all of us and for everyone around us and everything around us, for us to stay in those higher vibrations. Okay, guys, until next time, I hope that you found value in this. Please do like, share, subscribe, hit the notification button. Please comment and let me know what you're receiving for validation and messages. I would love to hear that. I mean, that's the good stuff. I would love to hear that. All right. Until next time, take care.